look at Budget 2020. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has presented the 2020 budget proposal tagged Budget of Sustaining Growth and Job Creation to the tune of 10.33 trillion naira to lawmakers at the National Assembly. And there's quite a longish speech, accompanying that particular budget. And so far, Nigerians have gone online to dissect this particular budget. Now, from my own perusal, what I've been able to establish from this, first of all, health has 44 billion naira, education has 48 billion naira, and the National Assembly has 125 billion naira. Now, capital expenditure is about 2.46 trillion naira. The budget deficit is 2.18 trillion, and for debt servicing we have 2.45 trillion. Of course, the recurrent expenditure is 4.88 trillion. Now, the total revenue, according to this budget breakdown and analysis, is 8.155 trillion, while total expenditure is 10.33 trillion, which means we might have to borrow some more money to finance this particular budget. But let me hear from you, panelists.
I don't know. My concern actually is why we always have a deficit budget every year. Now, Mr. President keeps saying we should eat what we produce. That has been what Mr. President keeps saying. Eat what you produce. Why do we have to go to 10.33 trillion instead of 8.315 trillion? Why? Why do we have to do it? Despite that this budget is being made in conditions with the VAT that has not been increased. Now they have foreseen that National Assembly would give a nod that they should increase it to 7.5 or 7.2, whatever that they are asking for. Do you understand? Now, I feel that at the end of the day, we still don't want to solve our problem, because every country that wants to solve their problem invests first and foremost in education, health, perhaps infrastructure. Education first, maybe health come closely second. But you can see the budget allocation that is given to education, 48, health, 44 billion. Now you have National Assembly, 125 billion. Now that's why National Assembly could wake up in one night and say they want to buy car worth 5.5 billion. That is because you have so much money. There is so much money in the coffers of the National Assembly. And don't also forget that the way National Assembly operates since 1999 is that they always owe the executive to ransom. First and foremost, before you even give this allocation to health and works, health, works, transport, and education, you must actually pay their own money first. That's the way they have been operating. Now we are asking ourselves, this is the same. I listened to the chairman presidential committee on corruption, Professor Issei Sage, praising to high heaven this assembly, condemning to hell the previous NAS. And I asked myself, what is the difference? Absolutely, there is no difference. If Mr. President, in his own wisdom, can sit down and allocate this to National Assembly, to 125 billion to National Assembly, and give 48 billion to education, 44 billion to health.
Now, first of all, if we were to go by UNICEF standard, how many percentage should education even have in the first place? I think it's between 13 to 18%, depending. So if we have 44 billion from 10 point something trillion, that's not even 1%, is it?
Yes, it is not even 1%.
It's not 1%.
It's not even 1%. It shows where this government is going. Again, this government also sit down in their own wisdom, that they have been praying, thinking that they are going to work on power and let Nigerians have power and allocate 9 billion naira to servicing generator and buying new ones. It's criminal, to say the least. It's criminal. For you, that means that you are the ability for you to even fix power is neither here nor there. You don't want to fix power. If you can, at your own, sit down and allocate 9 billion in 1 year to to fix power, to buy, and I learned they say they want to buy new generator for other foreign mission. Like you want to buy. Does a US mission use generator? In UK, do they use generator? What do they do with it? So why do you do all of this? That means that that's why we are still going to allocate 2.something billion naira to service debt, and we are also going to get at least 10.7 minus 8.1. So you are going to borrow more.
Another 2 trillion.
2 trillion.
Yeah.
To finance that.
All right. Let me hear Mazi on this.
Peshe, I don't know what else again you want me to say. You have said it, or you have said my mind. It's now receiving a smooth sale from the both houses because they got what they wanted in the two national assemblies. Somebody asked me on that platform, how do I describe that? I say rubber stamp. There's nothing. Why you have not heard anything pardon is because they are one and same person. That's why you have not heard pardon, blah, 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 blah. He made a point. He said, in the presidency, provision to service generator. Do we need generator in the presidency? He's also said, consume what you produce. And you are still saying we should be buying generators. Well, the VAT issue that they proposed, 7.5, they said it's going to be used to cushion in the minimum wage. And we talked about minimum wage issue today on the platform. We said Labour, I don't have any pity for them. Don't have any pity for them. This budget, from the look of things, we are going to see more troubles because we are going to be borrowing, mortgaging our future, mortgaging the life of my great-grandchildren.
This budget is supposed to be a budget of sustaining growth.
Who's sustaining?
And job
creation. Which one?
Alan is a budget of creating jobs. That's what I
job creation.
So how do they intend to finance this budget?
Yeah.
How do they intend to finance this budget? Look, everything on oil, and of course, the VAT means that people are going to be paying more. Any budget that does not make provision that so that food will be available on the table of poor masses is not a budget. Look at them. We cried that the National Assembly said 5 billion naira for their cars. And the one senator said, don't insult us. Don't insult them. When Nigerians were complaining, after themselves, to pay 30,000 naira, they found it difficult. Remember, even when this national minimum wage came on board, it was horribly passed on. But and I said it in the platform, it's one chance. They wanted to rush it so that because of the election, to come up during the election. And now the president signed it into law, I think April this year. Between April and now, how many months? It has not been implemented. When the Federal Republic, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has signed it into law, which means it's automatically implementable. But now we are not talking about. Look at the roads. The Minister for Works is complaining that the budget 300-something billion was only given 150 billion. So, what about the issue of the second Niger bridge? What about the poor maintenance? What about the federal roads? All over. I don't want to talk about the southeast road that is not available, the non-existent. We talk about even Amechi. Amechi is making noise, with due respect to him, that rail go to the southeast. From Port Harcourt to Enugu, no red tracks there, nothing. So, and they say rail is everywhere. My dear, we are in a situation, we are in a hostage country. We are in a hostage. The government, people in the seat of power have held us into bondage. And we are asking, Nigerians, God has spoken, he said, let my people go. Let my people go and worship me. Because we have not seen this thing so bad as we are experiencing it. When they came about, they say corruption, economy, security. Before God and man, can you open your eyes and ears every day without hearing kidnapping? This. Talk about security. What happened to the $1 billion approved to this president, which he jacked for the procurement of helicopters and things like that? Where are they? I read this, it was in Oshun, I think one of the lecturers kidnapped was found dead in his farm. Everywhere, budget. The health and education that's supposed to be taken into serious consideration, nobody's here. Nobody's talking about. The other day we played about the rot in the hostels, and nobody's talking about that. Like he said, now let us see whether Nigeria we are in a hostage environment. We don't know. We are
all right,
Mr.
Ofose. Now, looking at the performance of the budget 2019. Now, the government, according to the speech, the federal government says despite the delay in capital releases, a deficit of 1.35 trillion was recorded at the end of June 2019. This represents about 70% of the budgeted deficit for the full year. Now, to them, despite these anomalies, according to the president's speech, I am happy to report that we met our debt service obligations. We are current on staff salaries, and overhead costs have also been largely covered. This for me says that the 2019 budget
I hope you know what overhead cost is.
Okay in terms of how well that budget performed.
Which
Did the president perform?
I'm asking you the question.
I didn't say. That is what I expected the government.
What's the yardstick for measuring whether or not a particular budget actually, did well, in terms of the welfare of the people?
First and foremost, like this year, if Mr. President wants to present another budget in 2021, he must tell us how many roads he has constructed and how many housing units he has also built with 262 billion naira. That is the allocation to the works and housing. Now, if you don't tell us how many roads, federal roads that have been constructed, and the cost of those federal roads, and how many housing units have been built, and how many Nigerians, poor Nigerians, have taken ownership of those houses, then that budget has not performed. Two, don't also forget that this year they allocate 82 billion naira to water resources. Now, how many Nigerians, patient, I want to ask you are here, do you use public water? How many Nigerians, how many Lagosians have access to public water? In my village, how many people use public water? Now, if Mr. President, in his wisdom, is unable to tell us how many Nigerians as the public water project that they have embarked on, how many Nigerians that have benefited from it, that project has not been, you know that almost all the companies in Nigeria today, their CSR is on water.
Water, yes.
They dig borehole. Is that the public? What happens to all the budget allocated to water resources? Now, we talked about agric and rural development is 82 billion this year. Now, they say Nigeria is the largest producer.
83 billion,
whatever. Nigeria is the largest producer of rice. And we have actually slipped from 12,000 naira per bag to
25,000.
Now, this is the only country that I've seen that what you produce is more expensive than what you import. This is the only country I've ever seen. You consider yourself the largest producer of something, and your people cannot have access to it. Mr. President, we are complaining that all the roads are bad, including all the roads from Lagos to Port Harcourt, from Port Harcourt to Enugu, from perhaps maybe they do all the roads in the north, because all the roads from the south.
Not like that in the north.
The roads from Ado-Ekiti, Ondo State to Ekiti, he said he has cut into two. So what are we talking about? Now, how many roads have you built? On the rail, how many rail? The only railway that has visibly been a coach has always run is from Abuja to Kaduna.
That's what.
Now, apart from that, what has the budget done? What we are seeing on the railway in Lagos, carpenters are the ones fixing the rail. Go and see the way they are working on it, and I can assure you that in the next 5 years they will come back to work on the same rail. How can that same budget perform? If that project has also performed, don't forget that the 30,000 naira minimum wage has always been clamored for since. You have not been able to pay. Today, in all the dailies, the workers are gearing for strike. Is that the budget?
This week Wednesday.
All right, quickly, let's read a couple feedbacks from viewers. Femi Salami from Ikorodu says Lagos State government should let people see action in the rehabilitation of roads to alleviate people's suffering as quickly as possible. He went on to say it is okay if government can reduce the number of the political parties because majority of them lack ideology and strong membership base. Thank you, Femi Salami.
None us. Currently, no political party in Nigeria has ideology.
None.
Okay, this other one says, good day, madam, from Victor Edeke, Agege, Lagos. Senate to cut political party to 5 is better. Please let Senate also make a law. Any member who win election on any party who wants to cross carpet shall drop his mandate given to him or her before cross carpeting.
Of course.
Thank you, Victor.
They will not do that now.
They will not do that now.
All right, Dele from Ofa, my dear friend. Hi, Dele says, maybe that road in Delta State is federal road. Who knows? I think he's commented on the Delta situation and all of that. All right, gentlemen, quickly, let's have our quick last words on everything we've discussed today. Mazi.
Yeah, I will run up by saying that a country that, I said it earlier, when a country is being run by falsehood, truth becomes rebellion. We are just like a country, a nation whose walls are broken down. And that's the position of a person of dishonor and disrespect. Let this nation be governed on a platform of truth and honesty, the fear of God, so that when they say something, we believe them. As it is now, Nigeria don't believe this government because the foundation was faulty.
Okay.
Foundation was based on falsehood.
All right, Chief Officer.
Nigerians, my conclusion is very simple. Put people that you trust in power. Don't take money and put dubious people. We'll continue to be like this for a long time. Let us not listen to Godfather any longer. Let us listen to ourselves and make the right decision.
All right. For those who are looking for the breakdown of key capital spending allocations as included in the 2020 budget, if you go online, you will find how all the sectors, actually are going to get paid this time around. I see it as getting paid.